All right. Yeah, I'm excited to get on this morning. Thank you so much. So I want to welcome you guys in. I'm really glad that you're here today. If you're just joining, do not scroll. Okay, because I want you to hear this because it could completely change how you think about your health. Let me make sure this is okay. And let me start with a question. And I want honesty in the chat. Right? Do you feel tired after you eat? Right? Do you feel tired after you eat? Sorry about that, guys. Everybody's like, where did he go? So I want to welcome each and every one of you into my live this morning. Okay. I'm excited to be on this morning. And I want you to hear this because it could completely change how you think about your health. Okay. And let me start with the question. Okay. Do you feel tired after you eat? When you guys eat a meal, especially breakfast or anything else, do you feel tired? Okay. Do you wake up exhausted even after sleeping? Right? Let's say you slept for 7 or 8 hours. How many of you wake up and you just feel exhausted? You feel like you've just run a race. Okay. Do you struggle with cravings? Do you have stubborn weight? Do you have blood sugar issues? What about blood pressure? What about cholesterol issues? Right? What about inflammation or brain fog? If that sounds like you, stay right here because what we're going to be talking about affects more than 90% of people here in the United States. And most people have no idea that it is even happening inside of their body. It is called insulin resistance, right? And before I go any further, would you mind drop in the chat where you guys are tuning in from? City, state, country. I'm always curious where people are located around the world. So if you wouldn't mind just dropping your location. I'm here in Phoenix, Arizona. I've lived here my entire life. I love living here. I'm a native to Arizona. I lived in Nebraska for a little while, Utah for a little bit, but for the most part, I've lived here in Arizona. So as you come in, please drop your location. Let me know where you guys are tuning in from. Okay. And and tap the screen a few times so that TikTok knows that this message matters. And thank you, Terry. Well, let's do this. I love when people come on my live and make some weird comments. It's interesting the individuals that we have on the slide this morning. Wow. I don't know what you guys think about some of these comments, but I'm blown away by the insults. It makes absolutely no sense to me that people will come on other people's lives and will make insulting, degrading comments. I never understand why people are the way that they are. But if you're just joining, okay, welcome into my live. Okay, we're talking about insulin resistance and why it is the root cause behind weight gain and diabetes, heart disease, and fatigue. Okay, and I'm going to show you how to fix it naturally without extreme dieting, without starving yourself, or feeling like you're guessing. Okay, I love talking about this. It has literally saved my life. And if you know somebody that's struggling with this, feel free to share this live with them so that they can jump in, they can listen, they can ask questions. But I'm extremely grateful and blessed to have each and every one of you on this live. Now, let me slow this down and explain insulin resistance in a way that actually makes sense. Okay. Insulin is a hormone. Okay. And its job is to move glucose from your bloodstream into your cells. And our body will use this for energy. That's what it's supposed to do. Every time you eat, your insulin goes up. And that's normal. Okay? Every time you eat food, especially sugar and carbs, you blow up your blood sugar, but your insulin goes up. And this is normal. Okay? The problem is that we eat all day. Okay, most of us are literally, from the time that we wake up to the time we go to bed, we are literally eating all day long. We snack constantly. Okay, we drink sugar. We live stressed lives, right? Unfortunately, we sleep poorly. And this means that your insulin is elevated all the time. And over time, what happens is that your cells stop responding to insulin. So I want you to think of insulin like a fire that is burning out of control in your body. Okay, just like how sugar, right, causes your blood sugar to spike, blow up. Okay, I want you to think of insulin resistance like a fire that is burning out of control. And every symptom that you can think of that you might have, whether it's skin issues, blood pressure, cholesterol issues, weight issues, okay, those are the smoke to your fire. And you can either choose to put the fire out or, hey, ouch, what are you doing? Hey, what are you doing? You don't bite me. She bit me. And so I want you to think of the symptoms that you have as the smoke to the fire. And you can either choose to put the fire out, or we can keep spraying water on the smoke, and it's just going to get bigger and bigger and bigger. And this is what happens. Folks, I want you guys to understand that you don't need meds or extreme diets to fix insulin resistance. And the reality is that 93% of us have this, but most doctors are not talking about the one thing that's causing all of our health issues. Why would they? Super BB, why? Good morning. Why would they teach us? Why would they think about this? Why would a doctor show us how to fix the root cause? It would make absolutely no sense for somebody to do that, right? Folks, I want you guys to understand that I am living proof that you can have insulin resistance at the end of the day. Most people have no idea that you can actually fix and improve insulin resistance without the need for medications or diets. We live stressed lives. We sleep poorly. We eat all the time. I mean, just think about the food that we eat, right? We're eating a lot of food where the fiber's been stripped from it, right? It's ultra processed, it's refined, it's trans fats, seed oils, all of that. And so over time, what happens, especially if we're eating all day long, is our insulin is elevated all of the time. And so what happens is that fire just keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And sooner or later, you're sitting across from your doctor, and your doctor is telling you that you have stage 4 kidney disease. That was my case. Folks, I almost lost my life a couple different times because I had insulin resistance so bad. Folks, I didn't even know that I had it. I didn't even know what insulin resistance was. Because doctors and medical professionals are not talking about it, right? It's the one thing that causes the majority of our health issues. But when you go to a doctor, they're not talking to you about it. All they tell you is, oh, you know, Troy, your cholesterol's high. Here's a statin. Oh, you've got diabetes. Here's metformin. Okay, just take this. Oh, by the way, you're going to be type 2 diabetic for the rest of your life. Folks, the reality is most of us have these health issues. We have these struggles. But it doesn't have to be that way. And so what happens when your insulin is elevated and when we're doing, right, poor sleep, fatigue, eating all the time, okay? So what happens is that your body is producing more and more and more insulin, right? And this fire continues to get bigger. High insulin is what drives fat storage. It's what drives your body's ability to turn off your ability to start burning your FAT. I mean, how many of us have excess weight that maybe we would like to get rid of? And if that's you, okay, you're not alone. I think the majority of us have a hard time losing weight. But think about what we're doing every single day that is contributing to this. And so that constant high insulin is what drives FAT storage. It's what raises cholesterol. It's what shuts off your body's ability to burn your stored fat. Okay, this is what creates cravings. Okay, it causes energy crashes. It causes your blood pressure to go up. It raises your cholesterol. It inflames the body. It damages your blood vessels and eventually leads to type 2 diabetes and heart disease. If this is clicking for you, would you mind typing wow in the chat? And if you're getting value, if you wouldn't mind tapping the screen a few times, because when you do that, you're basically letting TikTok know that this message matters. Folks, I want you to think about your own health as I talk. Are you struggling with skin issues, skin tags, psoriasis, eczema? Are you dealing with excess belly fat? Are you dealing with blood pressure and cholesterol issues? Are you dealing with fatigue? Are you tired all the time? Are you dealing with cravings? You know, I donated a kidney to my sister's husband. Thank you, Ken. I donated a kidney to my sister's husband November of 2014. It was 7 years later when I was diagnosed with stage 4 kidney disease. That was my wake-up call. Folks, some of you are like me. I was going to the gym 5 days out of the week. I was eating as healthy as I possibly could. And yet I felt like everything I was doing wasn't working. Some of you might get frustrated. Some of you might feel like, oh my gosh, thank you for that. Right? Most of us, we feel like we're doing all the right things, but we just can't seem to get ahead. What I'm going to share with you could change your life. And folks, if you're struggling with your health, please don't scroll. And if there's somebody that you love and care about, get them on this live or share this with them. This is not about willpower. This is not about calories. Ren, thank you for that. This is not about calories. This is not about being lazy. You cannot out-exercise insulin resistance, folks. You can work out for 23 hours a day. You're never going to outwork insulin resistance. You cannot starve it away. And this is why people say, I eat less, than my spouse, and I still gain weight. I work out. Nothing changes. And this is, and I follow the rules and I'm exhausted all the time. And I want you guys to understand that your body is not broken, okay? Your body is responding exactly how it was trained to respond. The problem's not you. The problem is insulin. And if you're just joining, welcome, right? We're talking about insulin resistance and why most people are fighting their body instead of working with it. So I want to welcome each and every one of you for hopping on this live. I am talking about the one thing that's causing the majority of the health issues that people have. Why people are fighting their body instead of working with it. And let me say something important. For decades, we were told to eat low fat. We were told to have 6 meals a day. We were told to snack constantly. We were told to focus on calories. None of that fixes insulin resistance. In fact, most of it makes it worse. Ladies and gentlemen, when insulin stays high, fat burning is turned off. The light switch is turned off. And what happens is that your body cannot access the stored energy that you have. This is why you feel hungry when you have plenty of fat already stored. This is why cravings feel uncontrollable. How many of you, especially late at night, are craving sugar and carbs? This is hormonal, right? This has everything to do with hormones. This is not a character flaw. Now here's the good news. When insulin comes down, everything changes. Fat burning turns back on, right? You want that to turn back on. Okay? The hunger that you have, the cravings, it drops, right? Your cravings start to calm down. Your energy stabilizes. Your inflammation improves. Your blood sugar improves. Blood pressure and cholesterol improves. This is not a trend at all. This is basic biology. And there are proven ways to lower insulin naturally. But I want you guys to understand something. When your insulin comes down, everything changes. That's the key. Insulin is not your friend, okay? It's not. Insulin is not your friend. And so there are proven ways to lower insulin naturally. You stop eating all day long. You give your body a break from insulin. You eat fiber. Eat fiber before food so that glucose enters the bloodstream slower. There's 3 things that I teach people every single day. One of that is fasting. The second is fiber. And the third thing is just making sure that you have the right tools that you need. This is exactly why I talk about the Feel Great system, because it works. So, Highline Beauty, thank you for hopping on this live. What I am sharing with people is a natural alternative to the medications that are often prescribed by doctors. And by the way, when I was diagnosed with, when I donated a kidney to my brother-in-law, and it was 7 years later that I was diagnosed with stage 4 kidney disease, my nephrologist said, Troy, if you don't lose weight, if you don't change your diet, you're going to end up on dialysis. So my doctor gave me this, Ozempic. How many of you are on, right? Somebody asked me a question in regards to tirzepatide and other medications, okay? I want you guys to understand that you actually cannot give your body a GLP-1. You guys realize that your body produces it. The problem is some of you, your body isn't producing it. And so you're given this medication that has well-known side effects, like serious side effects, to try and mimic what your body does. Folks, What I'm sipping on right here is a natural GLP-1. It does the exact same thing as your tirzepatide or Mounjaro, Wegovy, all of these meds that doctors prescribe, but there's a lot of side effects. There is no contraindications with this system, ladies and gentlemen. It works without the need for meds or diets. And and I'll answer the question in regards to fibers, like what are some good sources of fiber? Okay. This fiber is unlike any other fiber supplement that you've ever come across anywhere on the planet. This fiber was actually created by the doctors and scientists of Rexall drugs. How many of you remember Rexall drugs? Okay. Rexall used to be the biggest drugstore in the world. They started in 1903. And they created, back in the late 1980s, early 1990s, they created a blend of plant-based fibers. Okay. And Frank, appreciate you hopping on. I hope you have a blessed day. Highline Beauty, yes, it is. This is available in 66 countries. It is Health Canada approved. This fiber is a blend of plant-based fibers. Okay, our body needs diversified types of fiber. And the truth is, and most of you already know this, is that most of us are not getting enough fiber in our diet. The food industry has taken it out. They intentionally took it out of our food. And there's a reason for that. Because it increases the shelf life of the food. Okay. This is exactly why, and I have the pin, the Feel Great system pinned. It's in the TikTok shop. I have a promo code right here that gives you 25% off. That discount is only available during this live. Folks, this comes with a 90-day money-back guarantee. If you use this system and it doesn't work, you get your money back. But when you support your metabolism in a way that helps to heal your gut, you reset your gut, you reset your immune system, what you're doing is you're literally giving your body the ability to start accessing the stored energy inside your body. Here's the reality for the majority of you. If you are sick and you go to a doctor, right? Here's the part that no one wants to tell you. If I go to the doctors because I have IBS, I've got migraines, I have cholesterol issues, and let's just say that I am doing my due diligence and I go to 3 different doctors. Do you guys realize that every doctor you go to, you're going to pay a copay? And you're going to walk out with at least 3 different medications, and not one of those meds even touches the root cause of your health issues, managing the numbers, the symptoms. But the moment you stop taking those medications, what do you think happens? All of these symptoms come right back. You guys understand that you and I, we can white knuckle a diet for 2 weeks, right? We're really going to be strict. We're going to be doing this diet. We lose the weight. But what happens when you stop the diet? In my professional opinion, I don't think that diets work long term. It might help you for a short period of time. But the reality is that when you stop that diet, all of that weight's going to come right back. When you stop that medication that your doctor has told you that you have to be on for the rest of your life, all of those symptoms are going to come right back. I want you guys to think about something and be honest about this. What if, instead of chasing these symptoms, what if we tackled the one thing that is causing them all? That would make the most sense, right? But a sad reality is that we are not doing that for our health at all. In fact, it's quite the opposite. Okay? It is quite the opposite, ladies and gentlemen. What if, instead of chasing the symptoms, we tackled the one thing that's causing all of our health issues. You guys realize that you can fix and reverse insulin resistance? For those of you that are diabetic or pre-diabetic, and I'm referring to type 2 diabetes, did you know that you can actually fix it and reverse it? This is exactly why I teach. And not only do I teach, I use this. This is exactly why the Feel Great system works. For everyone asking what I personally use and what I recommend, the Feel Great system is linked right here in the TikTok shop. I want to be very transparent and very real with you. You might notice, right? And here's the reality, folks. You don't need medications or diets to fix this. If you've ever heard, and I know that we have some people dropping off this live, the moment you start talking about a nutraceutical or a system that can literally save people's lives, people hop off this live. It's interesting. Happens all the time. Folks, the Feel Great system is not a supplement. It is a metabolic reset protocol. It focuses on timing and fiber and metabolic support. Timing matters because constant eating keeps your insulin elevated. How many of you have ever tried fasting before? Okay. If you're new to fasting, I always encourage people start out with 12 to 13 hours and work your way up. Okay. When you compress your eating window, your insulin finally gets a break. That's key. This is huge. Okay. Now, when you fast, by the way, it is the quickest way to regulate and get your insulin under control. You've got to get your insulin under control. So when you compress your eating window, what you're doing is you're avoiding glucose spikes and you're also avoiding insulin spikes. It means that your body doesn't have to release any insulin, and that's actually a really good thing. Old Lady Patriots, thank you for the follow. I appreciate that. Okay. So when you compress your eating window, thank you so much. Okay. Your insulin finally gets a break. Now, fiber. Okay. Some of you asked a question like, what are some good sources of fiber? Green leafy vegetables like a salad. You've got broccoli. You have beans. You've got flax. You've got chia seeds, avocados. I love up. Speaking of that, hold on one second, folks. Speaking of avocados, I left these in the car yesterday. Yeah, from last night. The weather's actually really cool here in Arizona, so I think they're fine. But folks, broccoli and beans and flax and chia seeds, these are some good sources of fiber. And the reality is that our body actually needs diversified types of fiber. Fiber matters because fiber slows the glucose absorption in your blood. It feeds the healthy gut bacteria. It actually improves insulin sensitivity. It actually nourishes your microbiome, which is where 80% of your immune system is. It also protects your blood vessels. Did you know that? Fiber can protect your blood vessels. This metabolic tea, right, that's loaded with chlorogenic acid and theobromine, okay, it matters because it actually helps your body access the stored fat, and it helps your body to burn it. It is clinically proven to lower your triglycerides. It lowers your total cholesterol. It lowers your LDL. It improves HDL. It lowers your A1C. And the reality is that when these two things are combined, the body shifts out of storage mode and back into balance. Folks, this Feel Great system has literally changed my life. 5 months on it, I went back to my nephrologist, and my kidney doctor said, Troy, I don't know what you're doing, but keep doing it. I wish I knew this system. I wish I knew what insulin resistance was 21 years ago. My dad passed away on Easter Sunday, 2017, and he passed away from something that could have and should have been prevented. If you're just joining this live, we are talking about insulin resistance, diabetes, heart disease, and metabolic health. Now let's talk specifically about diabetes for a second. Type 2 diabetes is not a blood sugar disease. It is an insulin disease. Blood sugar rises because insulin is no longer working properly. Folks, when you improve insulin sensitivity, your blood sugar improves naturally. This is why people see lower fasting glucose and lower A1C, because they have addressed insulin. That's the key. This is also one of the reasons why medications that only chase blood sugar without fixing insulin resistance often fail long term. The root cause matters. Folks, if you're on a medication that doesn't fix, you're not fixing the root cause. You realize that, right? Medications are not designed to fix the root cause. It is designed to treat your symptoms and mask the symptoms. That's exactly what it does. Now, let me talk about cardiovascular disease for a second. Okay? High insulin damages your blood vessels. It actually increases the inflammation that is going on inside your body. Right? It raises your triglycerides. It lowers your protective cholesterol. It actually accelerates the plaque formation in your blood vessels, right? You guys realize that if you're diabetic, your risk for cardiovascular disease, for heart attack, for stroke, it increases by 80%, meaning that you are 80% more likely to have a heart attack or a stroke. You are 81% more likely to have Alzheimer's and dementia. If you don't know what that is often referred to as type 3 diabetes. Folks, I want you to understand, insulin resistance can be fixed. It can be reversed. This is one of the reasons why insulin resistance is one of the strongest predictors of heart attacks and strokes. When you lower your insulin, which is what I help people to do, and this is why people are loving using this, because it does just that. When you lower your insulin, you improve your vascular health. Metabolic is heart health. And if you're just joining, welcome. Okay, we are talking about the root cause of most chronic diseases. Now, I want to address a few concerns that people have silently, right? Some people think, well, I cannot fast. Okay, you're not fasting forever. Okay, you're simply giving insulin a break. That's it. I skip breakfast. We're talking about maybe skipping 1 or 2 meals. That's it. And you can do an extended fast. And believe it or not, your body actually prefers it when you do, because your body can heal itself. So when you fast, or when you go longer periods of time without putting food into your mouth, you're simply giving insulin a break. Now, some people might say fiber bothers my stomach. Okay. When fiber is used correctly and gradually, it actually heals your gut. And so if you're having those gut issues, you actually heal the gut to the point to where you don't have those gut issues anymore. Right? Some people might say, I have tried everything. And I actually have an 89-year-old customer who literally has tried everything. And finally, he found something that is fixing his health. It is prolonging his health, which is wonderful, right? Folks, it's not about, we're all living to be older, right? But it's not just about longevity. It's about how good we feel as we age, okay? So, folks, most people have never, ever, ever addressed insulin. Now, some people might say, I don't do supplements. I don't want supplements. This is not about supplements. This is about supporting your biology with a system that works. Now, let me give you some buying permission, okay? You do not have to commit forever. I'm going to use this for the rest of my life, but you don't have to. You do not have to be perfect. Olay, thank you so much, okay? You don't have to be perfect in this, and you're not locking yourself into a lifetime decision. You are simply saying, you know what, I'm willing to try something different for my health. Some of you that are on here have probably tried everything. Some of you may have spent thousands of dollars on things that just don't work. Believe it or not, most people spend more money on coffee and fast food and medications that are only treating the symptoms. So if you are open to what it is I'm teaching and sharing with you, if you're open and willing to try something different for your health, this works. This comes with a 90-day money-back guarantee. Folks, if you use this, if you use it consistently, it will not fail you. We can actually prove through your blood work that this works. I know individuals that have dealt with blood pressure issues and neuropathy for decades. And within a matter of a couple months, a few weeks, whatever it might look like, they are literally getting off these meds that they've spent most of their life on. And like I mentioned, most people spend more money on coffee, on fast food, on snacks that they eat throughout the day, and of course the laundry list of medications that come with that. This is an investment in fixing the root cause. And I want you guys to understand something. I know some of you are like, oh, here's another guy that's trying to sell us something. I don't care if you buy this or not. I'm not here to convince you. Okay. You know where you've been. You know what you've been doing. You know if what you've been doing is working or if it's not working. And if it's not working, folks, you literally have nothing to lose by trying the only nutraceutical that is listed in the physician's desk reference. And if you don't know what the PDR.net is, this is what doctors use to prescribe meds. The physician's desk reference is the doctor's Bible. That's what they use when they prescribe. These two products are listed in the same PDR that doctors prescribe drugs from. Most people don't even know that this natural system even exists. At the end of the day, why would a doctor teach you how to fix your health? Because the moment you fix your health, the moment you no longer need the medications or diets or anything else. So this is an investment in fixing the root cause of your health issues. And if you're watching this live, that matters. TikTok often offers live-only pricing, right? Limited inventory and additional buyer protection. So if you're even thinking about starting, click the Feel Great system now so that you secure it. You can always decide later, but once the live ends, the pricing, bonuses, and availability might change with TikTok. Now, let me future pace you for a moment. What would it look like waking up with steady energy? Imagine eating food without having any of the crashes that come after that. Imagine about not thinking about food all day long, right? How many of you are constantly thinking about food? Imagine seeing your numbers improve instead of getting worse. What would it mean to you to actually feel in control of your health again? That is what metabolic health gives you. And this is why I teach the Feel Great system. Now, let me speak directly to the person that might feel discouraged, right? That's the person who feels that their body betrayed them. Maybe this is the person that has tried diet after diet after diet. Okay. Number one, you're not broken. Okay. Your body has been protecting you based on the signals that it has been receiving. Okay. So when you change the signals, okay, your body responds fast. Health is not about perfection. I want you guys to understand that. It has nothing to do with perfection. It's about direction. Are you going in the right direction or are you going in the wrong direction? Today could be day one. I'm living proof, folks, that you can have stage 4 kidney disease and you can fix it and improve it without the need for medications or diets. If this resonates with you, if this sounds like what you are looking for, maybe you've been praying for this. Maybe you're wondering, I've had type 2 diabetes for so long, I have neuropathy. Okay, maybe you're wondering when all of this is going to end. Well, that decision lies with you, folks. The sad reality is that far too often, all we are doing is we are throwing medications at our symptoms, but it doesn't fix the root cause. Medications are designed to mask your symptoms, okay? You cannot put a Band-Aid on a gunshot wound. Pay attention to what your body is telling you, just as you would respond to a flashing check engine light in your car. Okay, we can put the blinders on, but eventually we're going to face bigger issues if we're unwilling to take responsibility. And if you're just joining, welcome. Okay, we're talking about insulin resistance and how to fix the root cause instead of chasing symptoms, which is what most of us are doing. Okay, drop your questions in the chat. Blood sugar, diabetes, weight loss, heart health, fasting, fiber, the Feel Great system. I'm here to answer them live, right? And as I answer questions, Kate, if you're ready to take action, the Feel Great system is linked right here, and the 25% promo code is right here. Okay, folks. Again, let me be very clear as we continue. This is not about being skinny. This is about longevity. This is about protecting your heart and your brain, your kidneys, and your future. Right? Too much sugar in the brain of a child leads to ADHD. Too much sugar in the brain of an adult leads to Alzheimer's and dementia. Too much sugar in your blood, right? You've got atherosclerosis. Too much sugar in your joints, arthritis. Too much sugar in your teeth, cavities. I think you guys are starting to see the correlation of the health issues that we have and what is causing it. Folks, November of 2014, I donated my kidney to my sister's husband, and I'm honored. I was grateful to do that. But it was 7 years later when I was diagnosed with stage 4 kidney disease, and my doctor said, Troy, if you don't start to make some kind of changes, lose some weight, there's a chance that you're going to end up on dialysis. This freaked me out. I had no idea. It scared me. Most of the people watching this live right now have no idea what insulin resistance is because the majority of us have never been told. We've never heard it before. But at the end of the day, you can fix and you can improve your health in ways that doesn't need a medication, a diet, any of that. Folks, you don't have to wait to fix your health. Seriously. I'm living proof that you can improve your health without the need for medications and diets. And at the end of the day, folks, this doesn't fix it. Your medications are not going to fix the root cause. You've got to address it at the root. You've got to fix it at the cellular level, which is what I teach every single day. Rebecca, thank you so much for your order. Rebecca is a repeat customer who's been on the system for a while now. I'm living proof that you can improve your health in ways that diets and medications and restrictions would never be able to do. That's why I teach this, because at the end of the day, I want each and every one of you to understand that insulin resistance is not a life sentence. Diabetes is not a life sentence. You can improve it. What's great about the TikTok shop, right, is TikTok protects you. In the event that you don't like this, right, TikTok gives you a 30-day money-back guarantee. Our company, when you order, gives you a 90-day money-back guarantee. Folks, I love talking to people about this because the majority of people are sick and tired of the medications that they're on. They're not seeing their health improve. And at the end of the day, I think every single person has a right to understand why our body is reacting the way that it is, why we're having these health issues, and most importantly, what can you and I do that can start to improve our health and get ourselves off the medications that we're on. And folks, if that resonates with you, if this sounds like what you are looking for and praying for, you don't have to wait to fix your health. You don't. I'm living proof that you can improve your health. I've got about 5 or 10 more minutes. I just want to make sure that I can help answer any questions that any one of you has. Okay. Feel free to drop them in the chat. And also let me know where you guys are tuning in from. And while you're doing that, I'm going to get this. Hi. What are you doing? Here's she looks like How to Train Your Dragon. Her name is Toothless. So let me know if there's any questions that you guys have. What I've been talking about, if you're just joining, welcome. We are talking about insulin resistance. This is something that affects 93% of us. Think about the skin issues, skin tags, psoriasis, right? Maybe you've got the dark patches of skin on your armpits, abdomen that won't wash off, right? How many of us have high blood pressure and high cholesterol? How many of us have excess belly fat, right, that we can't get rid of, no matter what it is that we try and do? How many of us have sleep apnea or migraines, headaches, neuropathy? How many women are dealing with PCOS, right? 26% of American women have what is called PCOS, polycystic ovarian syndrome. What about erectile dysfunction and low testosterone? And no, I'm not talking about guys in their 60s. I'm talking about guys in their 20s. How many of us are affected by these issues and we're clueless on what we can do to fix it, right? Most of us just think, well, let's just go to the doctor And let's just get a medication or a pill or injection, right? Some of us are told that in order for you to lose weight, you've got to get on these, these kind of things, right? How many of us love using this? Okay. In my professional opinion, I don't think that they work. There's a lot of side effects. And you might lose some weight, right? There's a lot of people that are losing weight on those weight loss injections. But what most people don't realize is that half of the weight that you are losing is actually muscle, bone, and connective tissue. Think about this for a second. Okay. Yes, you're losing weight, but how many of you feel weaker, right? You're losing muscle tissue. It weakens your bones. Folks, most people don't know what insulin resistance is. Most people don't even know how to fix it. We just think that the medications that our doctor is prescribing to us is going to help fix our health. And the reality is that the medications, they're not fixing the root cause. All they're doing is masking the symptoms. It might make you feel better. It might make you feel like, oh my gosh, these symptoms went away, but you're not actually fixing the root cause. And Old Lady Patriot, thank you so much. Appreciate you. I'm telling you, if you're looking for a natural alternative to the medications that doctors prescribe, this in TikTok shop, Feel Great system, can literally change your life. The tea that I'm sipping on, it is a chlorogenic acid tea, right? It's loaded with chlorogenic acid and theobromine, right? Theobromine is a natural mood booster. Okay, this is a compound that is found in coffee and dark chocolate. Chlorogenic acid, believe it or not, this packet of tea has 10 times the amount of chlorogenic acid that you're going to find in a cup of black coffee. It has 375 times the amount of chlorogenic acid that you would get in a cup of yerba mate. This tea is unlike any tea. And by the way, there are 5 patents on it. It can't be copied. It can't be replicated. Okay. We are in the physician's desk reference. In fact, we're the only company in the world that has these 2 products that are listed in the same place that doctors prescribe medications. This is not a medication, folks. It's made from plants and food. And yet it is just as effective and often works better than the medications doctor prescribed. Let me close the door. There's landscapers that are doing landscaping across the street at the church, but right, medications mask the symptoms. The Feel Great system actually helps to improve insulin sensitivity. It helps to detox your liver. It improves insulin sensitivity, but not just that, it nourishes your microbiome, which is where 80% of your immune system is. And it's crazy to think that when you give your gut what it needs to heal, your cells start to heal. And by the way, if your cells are healthy, you are healthy. If your cells are sick, you are sick. Folks, I had migraines that I had for 23 years. I had acid reflux. I had brain fog. I had anxiety and depression. I had sleep apnea. I donated a kidney. And 7 years later, being diagnosed with stage 4 kidney disease, right? I had weight that I wanted to lose that I couldn't lose. I had a friend who cared enough about me to share a simple system. And all she said was try it. Her and her husband and I were financial advisors for a long time, for over a decade. And when she shared this with me, it came with a 90-day money-back guarantee. So I knew I had nothing to lose if I was willing to try it. So I did. And within 5 months of being on the system, my stage 4 kidney disease went away. A month and a half on it, I had lost 32 pounds. My migraine headaches went away in the very first week. The brain fog cleared. Anxiety, depression cleared. All of these things started to improve. And what was crazy is I had no idea that all of these symptoms were even related to each other. Because at the end of the day, folks, we're not trying to fix the root cause. We're treating our symptoms. That's what doctors do. They diagnose and they treat the symptoms, and they're really good at that. And I want to make it very clear to any one of you that's on here, I am not anti-doctor and I'm not anti-medicine, right? I think it can be necessary in many cases. But I am anti-ignoring the root cause. I think it's important for each and every one of you to understand why your A1C might be high, why your cholesterol is high, why your blood pressure is all over the place. And I think it's important to do everything you can to heal your body naturally without starting to take pills and injections and feeling like you have to go and do 2 days at the gym and you have to be on a specific diet. This system, the Feel Great system, which is linked right here in my TikTok shop, right? It's the easiest, simplest, safest, most natural thing you will ever come across that actually fixes insulin resistance. It fixes the root cause. I sip on this tea all morning, and this is actually how the system works. Okay, I want to share. When you wake up in the morning, okay, you're going to have your yerba mate chlorogenic acid tea first thing in the morning. Okay, when you sip on this, it literally shuts the food noise off. Okay, you don't even think about food. It decreases your cravings for sugar, for carbs. It lowers your triglycerides, your total cholesterol. It lowers your LDL, your A1C. It increases your HDL. It's absolutely amazing how well this works. So I'll sip on the first thing. It literally shuts the food noise off. So I skip breakfast. This is my breakfast. In reality, I'm eating my love handles for breakfast. Okay, when I fast, which I'm doing now, your body literally starts to burn the stored energy inside of your body. And the first area that it's going to start eating away is the visceral fat or the love handles that you have. That's how you naturally start to lose weight, is by fasting. This helps me to fast longer. And then once I get to lunchtime, if I'm hungry, I'm going to make my second one. And I'm going to sip on it all afternoon. I'm going to sip on it between lunch and dinner. And what that does when you're drinking this and you're sipping on it is that it literally helps to eliminate the glucose spike and the insulin spike that you have. Okay? And then right before your biggest meal of the day, you're going to have this blend of plant-based fibers. Now, this is not just like any fiber. Folks, there's 5 patents on this system. You can't just go to your grocery store or your local pharmacy to get this. You can't. You can get it here in the TikTok shop, right? It's coming direct from the manufacturer, but TikTok, okay? Folks, I'm living proof. This is a system that has been around for more than 30 years. Hardly anybody knows that it even exists. Doctors don't even know that it's listed in the PDR. And this is why I share this, because at the end of the day, you guys have a right to understand what it is that you can do that can help to improve your health in ways that medication and diets would never be able to do. And if this resonates with you, and if you're ready to get started, folks, don't wait. If you're on the fence, this comes with a money back guarantee. If it doesn't work, just cancel. Don't reorder. You'll literally get your money back. You lose nothing. And for those of you that live in the United States, if you have an HSA or FSA through your employer, you can actually use those funds to purchase this. It's fantastic. It's amazing. And here's the best part is it works. We can guarantee that it works. And if it doesn't, you lose nothing. Okay. Folks, I've got just a couple minutes and I have to drive somewhere, but what questions do you have? I see that there's quite a few people that have put this in their cart. Okay. Folks, don't wait to fix this. Okay. I'm telling you that you can improve this in ways that will completely change your life. I love this. I wish I knew about this 21 years ago. My dad would still be here. I had no idea what insulin resistance was because nobody talks about it. And this is why I share this, right? Sorry guys, I just accidentally removed this. Let me put this back in here. Okay. Folks, if you're looking for something, you just found it. Now, tonight at 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, we are doing a referral opportunity call. If you're an entrepreneur, maybe you're a medical professional, maybe you're a nurse or a nurse practitioner, maybe you are a chiropractor, an endocrinologist, maybe you work in the medical field. If you are someone who is passionate about helping people, tonight at 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time on Zoom, we are doing a call where you can just come and learn about the science of why this product works, but you can see how you could actually get involved and start sharing this with people all over the world. This system has been studied by the #1 heart hospital in the world. It's been studied by BYU in Provo, Utah, Stanford, UCLA, UNLV, Columbia University. It has been studied at the University of Sydney in Australia. They're the blood sugar experts of the world, folks. This system works. You don't have to wait, okay? And if you want to use what I use to reverse stage 4 kidney disease, it's right here in the TikTok shop, okay? Any question, folks, before I hop off?